Yes, Chelsea fans, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Chelsea versus Crystal Palace FA Cup semi-final. I realised when I did this stream, I set it up as unlisted first, which is why you guys can't see it or are not here. Hopefully you will be. Hopefully you are going to join because I am here. The stream is happening and come along. Come along and watch. And hopefully I can talk you through Chelsea getting to another FA Cup final. It's what we hope. It's what we hope. Welcome along, people. Welcome along. Another big day. Another big day, especially after what happened in midweek. Chelsea in another FA Cup semi-final. Can we get to another final under Thomas Tuchel? Hopefully we can. We are the favourites heading into the game, which I don't like. I don't like the fact that we're the favourites. I always prefer us to be underdogs. How about you guys? But this is the only place we're going to find ball-by-ball match commentary, radio-style match commentary, and it's the only place where we focus on the football. We're not self-obsessed. It's not a self-obsessed watch-along. It's actual ball-by-ball coverage. Welcome along. Grab yourself a refreshment. Grab yourself a drink and tuck yourselves in, he says as he spills it. Deary me. Don't want to do that on a live stream. Licking a pint glass. It's never good. It never starts well, does it? How are you all? Apologies, people. I set this stream up this morning, but I left it as unlisted. Sorry, it should have been public, so you guys all know. But I am here. We are doing the commentary, and we are hopefully talking you guys through to another FA Cup final. Yes, the ladies beat Arsenal 2-0. Good performance by them today, this afternoon. And hopefully Chelsea, the men's team, can get it done this afternoon. Dale, I was with you, mate. I had COVID for just under 2 weeks when I was in Florida, mate. I had cold and flu symptoms. Hopefully you've only got that. Hopefully that's all you've got. But we're here. We're here. Chelsea versus Palace. The Chelsea team is strong. Very strong with some changes. I'll go through the team now. 1 second. Just bring up my team, my Twitter. Chelsea's team is Edouard Mendy in goal. This is a surprise. I thought Kepa might start. Back three. Aspi on the right. Christensen and Tony Rudiger. Reece James on the right-hand side of the midfield four with Jorginho and Kovacic. Conte dropped to the bench. On the left-hand side, Marcos Alonso. And the front three is strong. As strong as you can get. Mount, Havertz, Werner, which is good to see. On the bench is Kepa, Thiago Silva, Malang Sarr, N'Golo Conte, Loftus-Cheek, Saul Niguez, Christian Pulisic, Hakim Ziyech and Romelu Lukaku. So welcome along, people. Paul, Jane, Dale, Len, Maniok, how are you? Good to see you all here. Rabat as well. Welcome along. The chat's open to subscribers as well. You got to have been a subscriber for at least 20 minutes before you can chat. And hopefully you guys will enjoy it. We can talk ourselves into another. Martin, how are you, mate? We can talk ourselves into another final. That's what we hope, anyway. So, in the UK, the coverage is on ITV, and I've got myself the ITV. Well, I've got myself an app. I'm probably about a minute behind, so no spoilers in the chat, everybody. No spoilers. Just putting that message up to reiterate. Oh, dearie me. I need to edit that. Can I edit it? I'll pin it even though the channel's spelt wrong. Never mind. Martin, thanks for the note about the clock. We're a little bit early. Still got 5 minutes yet. Still got 5 minutes. Anyway, welcome along. Smash the like button as well. Big day for Palace this. The underdogs. Chelsea playing it in the yellow kit again. Good to see. 3 games on the spin, the yellow kit. Azpilicueta leading the team out. Big day for Crystal Palace. They're going to look to spoil the party. Obviously, Conor Gallagher can't play. They're not happy about that, but that's the rules. Crystal Palace's 4-3-3 formation against Chelsea's 3-4-3. Come on, Chelsea. We can do this. Hi, Colin. How you doing? Everyone's looking for Chelsea to fail today. Everyone's looking at Chelsea to have the hangover from the Bernabeu in midweek. We were outstanding for the majority of that game. Absolutely outstanding. Cheated out of the result, if you ask me. Anyway, we move on and we now focus on the FA Cup. I'm so pleased that Thomas Tuchel has gone strong today. He hasn't done a Pep Guardiola. What was he thinking with his team selection yesterday? Deary me. I'm pleased that Chelsea's gone as strong as they got. Strong anyway. Thiago Silva and Conte, I think, are arguably in that team as the strongest 11. But we'll go with what we got today. The front three is still strong. Midfield 2. Kovacic's going to have to do more running. Pulisic, how are you? Come on, we can get into this game. Peter, we were unlucky against Real Madrid. Boston dominated the game, beat them on the day. As the teams come out. Teams are coming out onto the pitch now. FA Cup semi-final. Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. Palace in their red and blue strip, as we know. Chelsea in the all yellow. Chelsea the away side today, but never mind. Good to see plenty of Chelsea fans in. Plenty of Chelsea fans and Palace fans in the stadium. South London versus South West London. And let's not forget the winners. The winners take on Liverpool, the bin dippers, in the final. We owe them. We owe them. But let's get past Crystal Palace first and foremost. Let's make sure that I can hear you. That I can hear myself, I should say. Can I hear myself? Is it coming through loud and clear? Can you guys hear me all right? Everyone can hear me all right? Why is it reverting to that? Dale, thank you for renewing membership. Appreciated. Oh, the earphones have come out, which is why I can't hear anything. Leave now. This technical lark is just, Here we go. There you go. Perfect, I can hear. Marvellous. Marvellous. So, we are a couple of minutes away ahead of kickoff. Come on, Chelsea, let's do this. Let's win this game. It would be fantastic to get to another final. Come on now. Wembley's looking fantastic. Another glorious day in London this Easter weekend. Tuchel. Shaking hands with all sorts. Right, so Chelsea, as we look at the TV coverage and the coverage, remember the cameras are facing the benches. Chelsea are going to be kicking from right to left, with Palace left to right, obviously. Chelsea kicking away from their supporters in the first half, the same as Crystal Palace. Kicking towards their own fans second half. This is must win. Chelsea's team: Mendy, Aspi, Christensen and Rudiger, Reece James, Jorginho, Kovacic, Alonso, Havertz, Mount and Werner. For Palace: Butland, Ward, Anderson, Gurhey, Mitchell, MacArthur, Koyate, Sloop, Eze, Mateta and Zaha up front. Big game to this. Big game for Chelsea. Plenty on the bench. Plenty of options for Chelsea to make changes in the second half. Hakim, Ziyech, romelu Lukaku, Loftus-Cheek, all on the bench. Conte, Thiago Silva, Sarr, Saul Niguez. Plenty of options for Thomas Tuchel. Let's get ourselves up for this game. Let's start well. Palace will be kicking off to start the game. About to take the knee first as normal. The only place for ball-by-ball match coverage, radio-style coverage. Just waiting for them to kick off. As I said previously, I'm watching it on a slight delay. So no spoilers. Anthony Taylor's the referee. What is he doing now? He's having a word with somebody. He's waiting for There's some balloons on the pitch in the far side. Is he moaning about them? I don't think he can be. Are you watching it, Jane? Can you see what I'm seeing? Dear me. Yeah, he's asking Jack Butland to kick the balloons off the pitch first. It's shocking. Martin, how are you doing? Honestly, can you move some balloons, please? Are you having a laugh? Honestly, what effect is a balloon going to have? Apart from that goal back in the day. Southampton, wasn't it? Right, here we go. Referee. Kickoff is slightly delayed because of this issue with the balloons, which is just stupid. Players take a knee apart from Wilfried Zaha and Marcus Alonso. Zaha's going to be kicking us off. And he does. And he kicks off and he goes back to Anderson and just launches it up to our right back position. Aspie's underneath it. And Reece James. So Aspie's playing the wing back. Reece James is playing the right side of centre half. Aspie's the right back, not centre back. Chelsea possession just goes nice and simple back to Edouard Mendy. Edouard Mendy comes out to left-hand side to Tony Rudiger. Long ball looking for the run of Kai Havertz in behind Anderson. Anderson comes across, clears it, deflects it away. Deflects it away off of Kai Havertz. Actually, to keep it in play, MacArthur's got the ball. Shut down by Werner, forced backwards to Anderson and just on the edge of his own box. Goes back to Jack Butland, who takes a touch to his left. Referee's blown up for something again. What's he blown up for? Is it balloons on the pitch again? It's balloons on the pitch again. There was 2 balloons on the pitch. The referee's blown up and stopped the play. Asked the players to pop the balloons and give them a drop ball to the goalkeeper. Honestly, I've never known anything like it. FA Cup semi-finals delayed because of balloons on the pitch. Are you having a laugh? Anyway, it's the Palace balloons, by the way. Palace take the drop ball unchallenged. Play it out to Gurhey, who brings it back to Anderson, who comes outside of his own box. Chelsea pushed up but backing off. Not pressing. Anderson out to the right-hand side to Koyate, who's playing as a right-back at the moment. He plays the ball forward to Eze, gives it back to Anderson. Shut down by Mason Mount and forced back to Butland. Gurhey now. Shut down by Kai Havertz, who's chasing down Butland as the ball goes back to him. Sweeps the ball out to the right-hand side to Koyate. Takes a touch. 2 touch and plays the ball. Looking the ball up the line. They've got a runner. It's Kelly, who's made a run on the right-hand side there. Christensen comes across and covers it, just launches the ball out of play. But they've got a man in behind, the right back. I was wondering about Koyate, what position he was playing. He dropped into the right back position because Kelly, it's Ward actually, Ward has made a run up the line, completely unmarked, and Christensen had to come across and mop up, and he did. Crystal Palace throwing, level the edge of the Chelsea penalty box, on the right wing. The linesman's telling him to wait again. There must be another balloon on the pitch. Shocking, honestly. None of the referees happy. Ward take the throw in. Deep inside the Chelsea's half. Level the edge of the box. Goes short to Eze, who takes a touch, turns away from a challenge, and goes back to Anderson, who feeds Gurhey inside the centre circle, with Havertz tracking him down. He goes all the way back to Butland. They've gone from the edge of our box back to the goalkeeper. Chelsea press is good and pressure. Palace playing 10 yards forward, 20 yards forward and going 10 yards back. And it's Anderson on the edge of his own box. Chelsea backing off. He's taken 2 touches, 3 touches. Now he gets shut down and launches the ball high, looking for runners. Alonso tracks back and does well to head the ball away and finds Rudiger, who can't get the ball over the top. Finds Koyate. Eze. Koyate's definitely covering this right-hand side. I think they might be playing 3 centre-backs, Crystal Palace. So back 3. Gurhey now, left-hand side of centre, being tracked by Kai Havertz, who fouls him 10 yards inside of our half. Koyate's definitely playing as the right-sided centre-back and Ward's playing as the right wing-back. So surprise from Palace. It's not a back 4, it's a back 3. Kai Havertz with the foul on Mark Gurhey. Free kick 10 yards inside of our half. Right out on the byline, far side. Chance to Palace to get the ball forward, but they're looking to take it short by the looks of it. Seeing Conor Gallagher on the benches, or behind the benches for Palace. Obviously can't play today. So Gurhey decides to leave the ball. Palace now going to launch this ball forward, but Chelsea's high line is held 10 yards, 15 yards outside the penalty box. They launch it forward. Rudiger underneath it wins the big header against Koyate. And then Havertz and Rudiger get each other's way, but it comes out to Mason Mount. It takes touch up the line, closed off by MacArthur, and he goes back to Butland. Palace having a bit of spell of possession here. Chelsea quite happy to leave it to him inside their own half. Anderson halfway inside his own half, dead centre, goes square to Gurhey, and then Chelsea's front three shut him down. They go back to Butland. Butland, edge of his 6-yard box, launches it over halfway. Christensen underneath it, free header. Just nods it down to his side to Rudiger, collects it, gives it to Alonso, halfway inside of our half, but he's closed down. And plays the ball back to Mendy, but Christensen drops and says, give it to me. Grabs hold of it and plays it out to the right-hand side of centre to Reece James. Holds the ball up, plays nice little 10-yard passes to Aspi, back inside to Christensen, back to James, back to Mendy, who gets the ball away well enough to Rudiger. Palace pressing high, trying to shut Chelsea down and box us in. And now Rudiger launched out the line. Mason Mount comes over. It's actually Kai Havertz comes across. Fouls the Crystal Palace player. Again, the referee says play on. They got possession. Mateta comes over to the right wing. Up against Rudiger, trying to hold him off. He's a big man. He's a big boy, Mateta. Then Alonso steps in. Does well to win the ball. Challenged and falls over. To be fair, Mateta slipped. Alonso got his sort of come around the side of him, put his foot in the way to grab hold of the ball out of his feet. Knocked the ball away from Mateta, who fell over and fell into the back of Alonso. Alonso went down. Chelsea free kick right by the corner flag, which Rudiger's going to take. Looking for an option. He's got some movement ahead of him. Kovacic drops short. He's about 8 yards away from the corner flag, and now Mendy says, leave it to me. Mendy's going to launch it. He's going to nick a yard or two. He comes inside and forward a yard, so he's about 5 yards away from the byline now. Tell everybody to push on. Mendy to launch one. And he does. Drills it. Halfway inside their half. Havertz wins the flick on against Anderson. Goes out for a throw-in, unfortunately. Werner went, but Werner went too far. Ball's behind him. Couldn't keep it in play. Palace throw-in. Halfway inside their own half. Ward takes it up the line. Mateta up against Rudiger, loses out. Alonso mops up, gives it to Jorginho, nice and simple, back to Christensen. Halfway inside of our half now, Christensen. Being shut down. Kovacic, Jorginho, 1-2's nice. Play around their press, out to the right-hand side to Reece James. Over halfway, the centre-half today, Reece James. Looking for an option. He's got one from Havertz. He finds Werner, finds Mount. Trying to feed it back inside to Havertz, but Palace win the ball back. And then Wilfried Zaha shuts it down, tries to play a ball in behind him. Mateta's got him behind Christensen, who does really well to recover Christensen. Christensen steps in as Mateta was away and just nicked the ball off him. Back to Mendy. Well done, Christensen. Mendy to Rudiger. Rudiger to Mount, gets the ball back. And Rudiger, left-hand side of centre, gives it back outside to Mason Mount. It takes a touch over halfway, stops, has a look at his options, then goes up the line, takes on MacArthur and beats him. 20 yards from goal. Nice little ball inside to Alonso. Back to Werner, who's tucked inside to Kovacic. Back to Kovacic. Jorginho, top of the centre circle, closed down straight away. Has to give it early, and he does to Christensen. Out wide to Reece James. Back to Christensen. Centre circle. Kovacic shut down by Eze. Good ball into Christensen and back out to Mason Mount. Left to centre. Space. Wide left is Alonso. Edge of their box. Plays it back inside to Kovacic. Chelsea now bossing possession. Jorginho. Palace press. They're playing around them. Doing it well here. Rudiger. Into the feet of Aspi, who's tucked inside. Reece James on the outside. Jorginho halfway inside their half. Finds Kai Havertz back to goal. Shut down. Goes back to Reece James. Squares the ball to left-hand side. Halfway inside their half. Rudiger. Left to centre. Palace everyone behind the ball. Apart from one. Tries to find Kai Havertz, who switched off and lost possession, and then Palace win the ball back. Play the ball up the line, looking for the runner, Wilfried Zaha, and Christensen comes across. Mops up, nice and simple, back to Edouard Mendy. Palace are backing off with about 10 players behind the ball. A line of 5, with 5 in front. And Chelsea are just trying to find little gaps at the minute. Give them time and they will. Chelsea possession comes up to halfway, but again Kai Havertz switches off and loses possession. MacArthur shut down by Havertz and others. Back to Anderson, deep inside his own half. Plays it up towards halfway. Eze gets the ball back, goes back to Koyate, who's playing as a centre half. into Eze, and he's just a little flick pass inside. He gives it away. Alonso finds Jorginho into the feet of Mason Mount to Kai Havertz, who's brought down on the edge. Referee says play on. Havertz tried to flick it through to Werner, but Mason Mount has done really well to win the ball back off at Gurhey. Chelsea possession, wide left, halfway inside their half. Kovacic, ball looking for the run of Werner, finds him. Werner just outside the penalty box, flicks it back out to Mount. Mount crosses towards the back post. To be fair, it wasn't a cross, it was a shot. There was 3 Chelsea bodies towards the back post, and he just finds Butland. Ball bounces right in front of Butland, nice and simple, collects it easy. Chelsea's movement is good off the ball already. Kai Havertz needs to liven up a little bit. Anyway, they take the goal kick short to Anderson, who can step outside his own box for 5 yards, stop and go square to Gurhey. Goes one more to Mitchell. Has to go back to Gurhey, but it's forced back right on his byline. Havertz goes to shut him down. He takes one pass away from him and then gives back possession to Chelsea. Reece James, halfway inside their half, finds Rudiger, top of the centre circle. Rudiger takes a touch. One more out to Kovacic, gets the ball back. Little 5-yard triangle passes around Mateta's press. Kovacic, Jorginho, into the feet of Mason Mount, right of centre. Plays it out wide right to Azpi. Back to James. First time ball into Jorginho. Shut down. Holds off a challenge. Does well. Finds Kovacic. 20 yards from goal. Drives towards the edge of the box. Brought down. Referee says no. Not having that. Play on. And then Mason Mount fouls Eze. Referee says no to Kovacic. Not a foul on the edge of the box. Kovacic just gets up to his feet now. Total whack on his ankle. Was he brought down? No, he lost his footing. He slipped. His standing foot slipped and he went over. He's all right though, but Mason Mount gave another free kick away. Palace free kick, 11 minutes gone. Palace with a good start. Chelsea now bossing possession. Palace got an opportunity to come out, and they do. The long ball up the left wing, looking for Mitchell. Can't get in behind, and it goes out for a Chelsea throw. 20 yards from the byline, deep inside our own half. Viera's already up, instructing his players, giving them some last-minute tactics. Chelsea play the ball out to dead centre. Just inside of our half, and Palace win it back. Ward, shut down by Alonso. Back to Coyote, who's shut down by Werner. Back to Butland, and Werner's after him. Butland takes it to his left-hand side, then launches it up to our over halfway. Over everybody. Alonso's chasing it down. Ward's sort of making an effort to chase it down. Makes a last little ditch opportunity or an effort to try and shut the ball down before it goes out of play, but Alonso sees it out. It's a Chelsea goal kick. Taken short quickly. Christensen finds Jorginho, spins it out to Reece James, wide right. Goes beyond the challenge and plays the ball in behind, looking for Timo Werner. Good challenge from Anderson. Werner was wide right, running into that channel towards the byline. Anderson nips in front of him, knocks it back to Butler, who launches it. Mateta wins the challenge but can only find Azpilicueta. Finds Christensen, finds Reece James. Under pressure, goes back to Mendy. Mendy to Rudiger. Left to centre now. Rudiger takes a touch. Finds Kovacic, deep inside of our half. Mount, back to Rudiger. Palace pushed up but not pressing. Christensen now finds Reece James, and Palace are narrow. James got time to move forward. Plays the ball dead centre to Kovacic. Gets it back from Mount. Shut down Kovacic. Challenge, but Jorginho mops up and goes wide left to centre to Rudiger. Into the feet of Kai Havertz. Does well under pressure to take a touch. Finds Alonso. Kovacic back to Rudiger. Just inside their half. Left-hand side. Ball over the top looking for a run. He's got one from Havertz. Werner's asking for it up the line. Finds Werner by the byline. Pulls the ball back. Out of play from MacArthur. To be fair, the ball from Havertz was just about to go out of play. Werner all he could do is try and get a cross in. Last minute he did. Hit the first defender. Chelsea corner. But good movement from Werner already. Werner, Mount and Havertz. Their trio, their combination is already good. Their understanding of each other. The movement with each other is good. Interchanging is good. Werner looks like he's taken a knock on his foot here. Might have been his ankle as he tried to get that ball in the box. He's sort of got both hands on his knees at the minute inside the 6-yard box, but Reece James has come across to take the corner. Not Mason Mount. Reece James, right foot in swinger. Rudiger, Christensen, Havertz, back post. On the 6-yard box, Timo Werner, Azpi. Right, one arm aloft. Cross comes in towards the back post. Headed away. Headed back towards goal by Jorginho. Unlucky. Goes straight out of play for a Palace goal kick. Palace can be good from set pieces. They got height in their team. Tuchel's already up, away from the bench, right up on the technical area. Arms folded, chewing his gum, looking at his options. Not talking to anybody at the moment, just studying the game as it's being played out. Butland's going to take his goal kick from the 6-yard box. He tells his 3 centre-backs, push up, and they do. And with that, he's going to launch it. Jack Butland, taking his time. Now launches it out towards our right-hand side, our right-back position. Reece James, free header, heads it back towards the centre circle. Anderson steps forward to win it. Strides forward 10 yards and has to go square to Ward. Trying to play a ball in behind, but he's overplayed it. He hasn't. Mateta's onto it. Flicks it back inside, but to the near post. Edouard Mendy's already there. Nice and simple. Collects it and rolls it straight out to Alonso. Wide left, Kovacic. Jorginho, halfway inside of our half now. Left to centre. Kovacic to Rudiger. Christensen, 10 yards outside of the D of our box. Strides forward, 10 further yards. Up to the edge of the 6-yard box, centre circle. Finds Kovacic. Outside of him is Mount, who finds Werner on the byline. 5 yards inside their half and goes back to Rudiger. Finds Christensen, bottom of the centre circle. Palace backed off to the halfway line. Steps forward. They come to meet him. He plays the ball wide left to Alonso. He's got a runner up the line, which is Werner, up against Coyetti. Werner takes a touch. Can't keep hold of it. It goes out of play. Unlucky. Chelsea's front three are trying to pin each one of their centre-halves here. They're playing free at the back, Palace. They're trying to pin them and trying to move them about to create the space. So Ward's take the throw in for Palace. Goes short to Eze, gets it back and volleys it up in the air, up to halfway. Christensen just leans all over the back of Wilfried Zaha. Referee says carry on. Palace play it off of one of the Chelsea defenders for a throw-in, just over halfway, right-hand side, inside of our half. Ward's going to take it again. Tells people to push further forward. Nicks 3 or 4 or 5 yards. Now seeing romelu Lukaku on the bench, drinking his water. Their play up the line has come to nothing. Chelsea want to throw him. Alonso's going to take it and goes to Jorginho, gets it back. Takes a touch away from a challenge, Alonso, and just launched the ball forward. Under immense pressure, Alonso. He had to get rid of it, and he did. Finds Butland, who takes a touch on the edge of his own box. Just rolls it out to Anderson, who goes back from right side to left-hand side and plays it out to Gurhies on the byline. Havertz goes to meet him. Back to Butland. Mount, Werner. Werner's on the left. Mount's for the middle. Havertz on the right-hand side. Pushed up to the edge of their box. As soon as they come forward, Chelsea press. Butland's got it by the penalty spot. Got his foot on the ball. Asking for an option. Now Havertz indicates going to go and close him down, and he launches it. Reece James beats Mateta to the ball, but they win second ball, but can only find Aspi. Launches the ball forward on the volley. Anderson, deep inside of his half, heads out to the wing. Mason Mount collects it, challenged by Slapp for Chelsea corner, Chelsea throw-in even. Gone up the line. Kai Havertz up against Mark Gurhey. Gurhey falls over. Referee and the linesman fall for it and give the free kick to Gurhey and Crystal Palace. Havertz needs to calm down a little bit. He's been losing possession of the ball first 17 minutes. It's not really sticking with it at the minute. He's trying to make he's pushed up against Gurhey. Werner's against Coyote, who's playing on the right of their centre-backs. And Mason Mount sort of a little bit deeper with free rein at Anderson. So Havertz is trying to pin Gurhey, but at the moment Gurhey's winning the battle. Butland takes a long free kick up into our half. Reece James does well again against Mateta to win it. Goes out of play for a Palace throw-in. Halfway inside of our half, left-hand side, our right-back position. Wilfried Zaha, Mitchell's got the ball. Mitchell throwing up the line to Zaha. Flicks it back to him. Gets it back and tries to turn Jorginho. He's done well to press him and force him inside to Eze. Kova's after him. Goes one more to Coyote. Back further. Had to go push back to come forward. They play it forward and Rudiger just blasts it forward. Werner up against Anderson. Anderson, big header, finds Butland. And he rolls it over the top of Werner's head to find Koyate. But there goes Kovacic shutting him down, trying to find Ward, but his pass is poor. Ward passes straight to Mason Mount. Aspi, Mount, halfway inside their half. We've got a run on the left-hand side, which is Alonso. But Palace, to their credit, are shutting us down, pressing hard, and Jorginho to find it a pass wide. And then he's playing a long ball over the right wing, looking for Azpilicueta to cross it on the volley over his head, out of play. Palace's press will die in the second half. They'll get tired. They're not used to playing three centre-backs, Crystal Palace, and the wing-backs. Their midfielders having to work hard. Chelsea will get the space second half. I guarantee it. Anyway, Butland rolls the ball to his right to Anderson. Just the edge of his box, he launches the ball out to the left-hand side, looking for Zaha over the top. Reece James he's just watching the ball go over his head and just heads it back inside to Christensen. Puts him in a bit of problem, and Christensen tries to launch it to the left wing. Palace have won the ball back. Halfway inside of our half. Slap now. Jorginho's after him. Goes inside to Anderson, who's pushed further forward. Eze up against Kovacic. Wide right now to Ward. Alonso's with him. Chelsea's defensive shape is good, and we're forcing Palace back to halfway. Koyate back to Anderson. Goes square to Gurhey. Collects it left side of centre. Over halfway. Inside of our half now. Trying to find Mateta, but great challenge from Christensen. Breaks to Kovacic. And he's looking for a ball in between defenders to Timo Werner, but Koyate comes across and wins the ball back. Finds Mateta. Goes square to Mitchell. Inside to Zaha. Mitchell shut down by two Chelsea players. One of them, Jorginho, slides in. Ball goes out of play. Crystal Palace thrown right in front of Patrick Viera on the halfway line. Viera's very animated, talking to his players. Tuchel sitting back down. Mitchell take the throw. Up the line. Free header for Aspi. Up in the air. Reece James takes a touch to bring it down and launches it forward. Up to the feet of Mason Mount. It does well. He collects the ball. Sees he's got MacArthur right up next to him and just plays it off him. Out for a throw-in. Chelsea throw. Right in, just about 5 yards inside the halfway line, which Aspi's going to take. Looking for an option. 5 subs, I believe, yeah. Jorginho. It's actually Kovacic short, who's done really well to hold off a challenge. He's won a free kick. From the same position. It's a throw-in again. Aspi goes short. Jorginho gets it back. Goes one more to Reece James. Under pressure from Slap. Plays it off a Slap, and Chelsea have lost themselves 30 yards and find themselves with a throw-in right by the corner flag. You got 3 Crystal Palace players trying to box us in. And we take a short throw to Jorginho. It gives it back to the throwing taker who's been shut down. He goes back to somebody else who's been shut down. Stupid. Just launch the ball. Get rid and just reset. Simple. Look at Gareth Southgate in the stand for whatever reason. Anyway, they launch the ball. Chelsea take a long throw-in up the line. Havertz wins it. Finds Mason Mount. Tries to fight. He plays a great ball on the volley out to Alonso. But unfortunately, Alonso had gone that way. The ball's played in behind him. So Ruben Loftus-Cheek is getting kitted up already. I think it might be Kovacic. I think Kovacic's done his ankle, possibly. Anyway, Palace he has. Kovacic is limping. Kovacic is limping, looking to the sidelines now. Kovacic's got his hands on his knees at the minute. He's coming off. He's going to be coming off for Loftus-Cheek. Anyway, Chelsea possession the halfway side of our half. Jorginho plays it back to Edouard Mendy. Takes a good touch and plays it out to Reece James. And there's Jorginho coming short, making an option. Finds Kovacic, just flicks it out the outside of his boot to Rudiger. To be fair, Kovacic is still showing himself as an option for a pass here, but he's not making runs forward, really. He's playing side to side. Jorginho to Rudiger, left-hand side of centre. Out wide left now, Rudiger. Inside to Kovacic, who makes himself an option. Yeah, he's limping, Kovacic. Christensen, centre circle. One more. Out to his left, his right-hand side to Reece James. Up the line to Aspi. Shut down by Mitchell. Goes out of play for a Chelsea throw-in. Halfway inside their half. Loftus-Cheek still not ready. He is now. Well, someone's gone down to do their laces up for Crystal Palace. This could be a chance to make a change for Chelsea. It's a blow because we got Arsenal coming up Wednesday. Loftus-Cheek is receiving instructions, tactical instruction. They're delaying. Chelsea take the throw in short mount. Finds Jorginho, finds Christensen, now finds Rudiger. Ball over the top looking for Havertz. Finds him. Havertz heads it towards goal. Over Gerhus. Complaining that Havertz bowled him over. He didn't. He got above him. But he can only head it up in the air. Easy for Butland. And with that, Kovacic sits down. He's coming off. They're just showing a replay of Kovacic earlier when he got to the edge of the box and he slipped. As he slips, his left ankle goes underneath him. He's twisted his ankle. You can tell. Aspin and Jorginho over there with him, along with Koyate, helping him up. Tuchel's now right there with Loftus-Cheek, giving him instructions. Loftus-Cheek, come on, mate. Get hold of this ball. Be that Rolls Royce in midfield that we all know you can be. And make the difference. The only thing that bothers me now is defensively, Loftus-Cheek is a bit suspect. Jorginho's a bit suspect defensively, whereas the amount of work and the ground that Kovacic covers could be dangerous. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But Chelsea forced into their first change. 25 minutes gone. It's Kovacic coming off for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Taking his time. He's not being hurried up by the referee to come off the pitch, by the way. My chair keeps moving down, which is why I have to keep bringing the chair up. I've got an office chair, but that's not comfortable enough for games such as this. Smash the like button for me, people. Let's get to 50 as soon as we can. So, Loftus-Cheek's coming on. Jack Butland's going to have a drop ball from the referee because it was his possession. Seen all the Palace fans in full voice behind the goal. Butland, referee just drops it. He picks it up, Butland. Nice and simple for him. Takes his time and just spins the ball out in front of him 5 yards, then launches it up high. Over our back defensive line. They let it bounce. Easy. Christensen's got it under control. Straight through to Mendy. Rolls it straight out to Rudiger. Left to centre. Just outside of our box. Asking for an option. Telling Christensen to come near him. Gives it to him. Plays it 10 yards forward to Jorginho. Tries to play a pass. Can only find Jeffrey Slap. And Palace want it back. But then Eze's been fouled by Mason Mount. Another challenge. Mason Mount's having a bit of a pop at Jorginho here. Jorginho's slack with his passing. Just Christensen's edge of the box. Plays it 10 yards for Jorginho. Looks up. He's trying to play a ball into Havertz's feet. Gives it straight to Slap. Ridiculous. So Palace got a chance to push further forward. Chelsea, again, holding the high line. 10 yards outside the penalty box. Chelsea with 2, 4, 6, 8 players along that line. 2 in front, and Palace have got 4 players attacking that. Ball goes over the top, too far for Anderson. Mendy's alive to it, edge of his box, just steps forward, collects it, no problem. And rolls it out to Rudiger as Palace retreat. Rudiger, edge of our box, goes square. Christensen goes into the feet of Jorginho, swings it straight out of play first time, out of play, out to the right-hand side to Reece James. Reece James doing this, asking for an option. Aspie drops in. They give it to Jorginho, who's been fouled. Got shut down by Mateta and MacArthur. Jorginho's fallen over. And with that, Tuchel is doing his nut. Chelsea's play is too slow. Tuchel is just sprinting off the bench into technical area, going mental at somebody. And Chelsea again trying to play a ball into Timo Werner. A great ball. I didn't see him play that ball forward. But we picked up in midfield, taking a free kick short into the centre circle. Somebody's looked up and Werner's in between the 2 defenders. Ball goes into him and it's Anderson again on the stretch. Just gets his foot to it and kicks it away from goal. Out of play for a Chelsea corner. Second corner of the game. Aspie and Timo Werner inside the 6-yard box around the goalkeeper. Marcus Alonso on the edge of the 6-yard box. On the edge of the penalty box is Havertz, Loftus-Cheek and Tony Rudiger. Reece James to take it, right foot in swinger towards the penalty, towards the 6-yard box, headed away for another Chelsea corner. Ward got the ball away. Another Chelsea corner. Another one from this left-hand side. Another right foot in swinger from Reece James. 4 players on the edge for Chelsea. 1 hanging outside of it, Mason Mount. Havertz, Rudiger, Loftus-Cheek, Jorginho's on the edge. This time the ball goes towards the penalty spot. They get it away first time and follow up with it and get the ball wide. Jorginho's going across Mateta. Does well to hold him up. Mateta plays it inside to Wilfried Zaha on the break. He flicks the ball past one challenge, but Christensen does well to come across, but can only find Ward, who tries to find Zaha. Ball's in front of Zaha, who dives on the floor in frustration, not because he's been challenged by Christensen. Chelsea mop up. Edge of our own box. Reece James. Right-hand side is Aspi. Inside's Jorginho. Middle of our half. Plays it out to left-hand side of centre to Rudiger. Plays the ball forward up the line to Werner, who's pinned himself against Koyate. Timo Werner takes 2 touches, drives towards the byline, gets beyond him, cross towards the back post. There's Aspi coming in. The ball's at waist height. It's too low for Aspi to head it. It's too high to try and do something with it. He tries to sort of scissor kick in mid-air, hits in the midriff and goes out of play for a goal kick. But Timo beat Koyate easy. Great pick out from him as well to Aspi. Coming in from the right-hand side. Oh, Aspi. He tried to do a scissor kick in mid-air. It's come off his knee and went out of play for a goal kick. But good play from Chelsea. Spotting that space down the left-hand side for Werner. Beats Koyate. All ends up. Gets towards the byline. Picks out a good cross. But it was one of those ones where it's just in no man's land. It's too low to edit. It's too high to try and volley it. He tries to make something of it. Comes off his knee. The resultant goal kick from Palace up to halfway. Chelsea head it out of play of Alonso. Palace thrown on the halfway line. On our right-hand side. Our left-hand side, their right wing. Ward takes it short to Eze. Gets the ball back. Ward launches it up the line. Mateta up against Rudiger. Can't hold it up. Goes out of play for Chelsea throw-in. Buffer in. It's all good, I think, for everybody else. Jane, I think we're all good. Alonso. Refresh it, Jane. Alonso takes the front inside to Azpilicueta, who's come across to make himself available. Goes back to Alonso, back to Rudiger, back to Christensen, edge of our half, of our penalty box, Inside to Jorginho, just playing around their press, which has run out of steam at the minute. Christensen finds Reece James on the right-hand side now. James, acres of space, plays ball up the line, looking for Kai Havertz, who does well under a challenge to hold the ball up. Loftus-Cheek, halfway line. Switches the ball 20 yards to his left-hand side to Rudiger. Takes a touch ahead of him. Halfway inside their half now. Finds Loftus-Cheek in a little bit of space. Takes a touch. Loftus-Cheek. Finds Rudiger. Rudiger back to Jorginho. Jorginho finds Christensen, who drives forward halfway inside their half. Palace defensively set. Chelsea trying to work around it and trying to find a space. Werner edge of the box. Out to the left-hand side to Alonso. Forced backwards, back inside to Rudiger. Again, halfway inside their half. He goes back. Christensen, bottom of the centre circle. Finds Reece James inside their half. Cross comes in towards the near post. Headed away by Gurhey. Mateta flicks it forward, but well done. Reece James wins it back. Rudiger, inside their half. 10 yards. Gets it back from Werner. Chelsea with loads of players in between the lines, but Palace are defensively set. Werner, left-hand side, into the feet of Marcos Alonso, edge of the box, back to goal, forced backwards, back to Rudiger. Squares a lot is Jorginho, plays under pressure, gives the ball away again, and they play it out of play for a Chelsea throw-in, halfway inside their half. They're defensively set, Palace, they're dropping off to the edge of their box. The defensive line is supported by a midfield line, and Chelsea trying to break down. Right, Chelsea done well with short throwing. Jorginho, back to Christensen. Left-hand side of centre is Rudiger. Loftus-Cheek goes beyond him. He goes one more left to Alonso. Up against Ward. Goes towards the byline. Cross comes in, deflected. Gets to the back post. Headed away by Mitchell. As far as Jorginho finds Mason Mount. On the half volley, the ball goes over the bar for a Palace goal kick. Good play from Chelsea and Alonso. Gets towards the byline. Cross comes in, deflected. Held away by Mitchell. Jorginho takes a good first touch. First touch volley to his left-hand side. Set up for Mount, but the ball sits up. He can't bring it down. And slices his volley over the bar. Butland take the goal kick. He's got two of his centre-halves next to him. Tells them to bugger off. And they do. And with that, he's going to take an extra 5 or 10 seconds before he takes his goal kick. Looking for Mateta up against Rudiger. Butland takes the goal kick now. Up to his right-hand side, our left-hand side. Loftus-Cheek wins a free header, heads it forward over halfway. Anderson tracking back with Werner up his bum. Goes back to Butland and Werner's after him. Butler's got to get rid of it, and he does, but he shanks it. But Eze does well to make up for it. Heads it further forward into our half, and Alonso collects the ball. Halfway inside of our half now, Christensen, dead centre. Gives it Jorginho, who's got some space to turn and assess his options. And then loses possession. Slap, breaking forward, but they tried to find Zaha. But Christensen was brilliant. He saw the pass, stepped in and won it back, but then Mason Mount loses it. Inside of our half. Halfway now, Mitchell finds Zaha. Reece James steps in. Zaha goes down. Referee buys it, gives a free kick. Reece James saying he played the ball. Referee said no, he didn't. He goes out of play. It's a Crystal Palace free kick from a dangerous position. It's about 30 yards from goal. Wide left, 5 yards inside the byline. And Eze's over it. Gurhi and Zaha move away. Gurhi's had a word to him as to where to put the ball. So Chelsea, again, holding the high line. 5 yards away from the penalty box. Mendy's on the edge of his 6-yard box. Chelsea with everyone lined up. There's a cluster of about 15 players in the middle, just outside of our penalty box. 5 yards. Mendy is telling everybody push up. Palace got 6 players looking to break. They move towards the back post. Cross comes in. Headed away first time. Comes back to Koyate. Great save from Mendy twice. It comes back to Palace, to Mitchell. Out to Zaha, who's offside. But Edouard Mendy has made 2 outstanding saves. The ball, the cross come over, half cleared. Koyate takes it down and just strikes the ball low. Let me see this replay again. Edge of the box by the D. On the volley, hits the deflection. Mendy gets down to his left-hand side and makes the save. Pushes the ball away. Anderson, it comes to him. He shoots and he hits the post. And the ball goes away. Big chance for Palace. The biggest of the game so far. Chelsea breathe again. Chelsea possession now. And Palace are pushed up. And Reece James been fouled just outside of our own box. And they get the ball away. Chelsea free kick. Christensen. Edge of our box. Looking for an option. Got 3 players around him. Does well though. Rudiger steps forward 10 yards. Gives him the option and finds him. Rudiger left to centre. Plays the ball the outside of his boot. And gives it away. MacArthur, tackled by Jorginho. Mason Mount, Havertz trying to get in behind, but Gurhi come across and won the ball. Stepped in and won it. MacArthur, halfway inside his own half, being pressed by Chelsea. Forced back to Anderson. Pressed by Werner. Does well to come out to his right-hand side of centre to Koyate. Halfway inside his own half. Right-hand side now. Looking for an option. Plays the ball up the line. Looking for runners. Overplays it. Straight through to Mendy. Takes a touch. Rolls it straight out to Christensen. 5 yards outside of our penalty box. Gives it Jorginho. Bottom of the centre circle. Gets the ball back. Back Jorginho. Back to Christensen. 3 players around him again. Has to go back to Mendy. We've got to be quicker. Get the ball wide. Mendy now. Out to Rudiger. Left-hand side of centre. Rudiger. Looking for an option. He's got one up the line. Werner gives it to him. Turns away from Koyate brilliantly. He's up the line. He's away. Werner. He's got a runner in front. 2 in front. Havertz is in. Edge of the box been brought down. Is it a penalty? He's actually booking Kai Havertz for diving. Timo Werner makes a run down the left-hand side. And he's got Mason Mount and Kai Havertz in front of him. He looks at Kai Havertz's running between 2 defenders and plays the ball through to him. Havertz has dived. Mark Gurhi comes across to challenge him and stops himself. And Havertz dives. He's getting booked for it, and rightly so. It is a blatant dive from Havertz. He looked in real time that he got caught. Gurhi went across on the edge of the box, realised where he was and stopped. Just stopped. Didn't even put a foot out. Havertz kicked the floor, went down. Referee spotted it and booked him for it. Crystal Palace free kick, edge of their own box. Good move from Chelsea though. That's going to open the door. They launch it up towards the left-hand side. Rudiger goes to head it backwards and misses his header, but to be fair, Mendy's covered him. Come out right out to the left-hand corner of his penalty box to collect the ball. Runs over towards the penalty spot and gives it to Christensen. Christensen again. Palace pushing up high. Plays the ball out to Rudiger. Left to centre, Rudiger. Strides forward to halfway inside of our half. Looking for an option. He's got too many players standing still. Goes back to Christensen. Finds Mason Mount in that right channel. It's Aspi actually. Finds Reece James. Into Havertz. Turns away from a challenge and comes inside Havertz. Holds up the ball and does well to find Jorginho. Centre circle. One more left to Rudiger. Halfway line. Ball over the top looking for the runner Havertz. He goes to bring it down, but under pressure from a defender he can feel behind him. The ball goes through to the goalkeeper. Havertz is making the runs. We've just got to find the right ball to him. But with Havertz making all of these runs, he's drawn the two centre-backs, Anderson and Guehi, into him. The centre-back in the middle and Guehi on the left. Keep doing it because Mason Mount and Werner can nip in second half when they're expecting the run of Havertz to cover him. Palace tried to play the ball long and give it away on the halfway line. Chelsea win it. They win it back, but then Loftus-Cheek steps up and doesn't win the ball back from Eze, but he gets back in the challenge. Between him and Jorginho, we win the ball, but then they've won it back. Slap, halfway inside of our half, left-hand side. Mitchell, inside to Zaha, edge of the box. Our left corner. Or our right-hand side, sorry, their left corner. And Chelsea do well to get the ball away. Reece James wins it off of him. Zaha goes to shut him down. Comes off of Zaha for Chelsea throwing by the corner flag. Well, I'd say it's 12 yards from the corner flag. Asper to take it. Looking for an option. Hasn't got one at the minute. Holding on to the ball. Just does this, Asper. Give me an option. Chelsea are too slow. Far too slow. Asper now takes a throw in short. Jorginho gets it back and just launches it forward. Rudiger can't get there. Comes back towards us. We head it forward. Head tennis at the minute. Halfway line. Havertz loses out to Mitchell. Up the byline for Mitchell. Ball over the top looking for Mateta. Up against Reece James. Reece James does well up against him. Goes out of play for a Chelsea goal kick. He tried to bully Reece James. And I think he's going to think twice about doing that again. Let's just say that. Mendy's goal kick. He goes out to Rudiger. Loftus-Cheek. Back to goal. Dead centre. Halfway inside of our half. Plays it out to Asper, who's tucked inside. Back to Reece James. Halfway line, Jorginho. Wide right of him is Asper. Running in behind. Looking for two runs. Mason Mount one and Werner the other. Guehi's there again to come across. Plays the ball off for Mason Mount. Gone out of play for a Crystal Palace goal kick. Guehi's done well so far. Chelsea's ball, trying to find the ball in behind, is actually a Crystal Palace thrown right by the corner flag. Chelsea making the runs, but the pass is not good enough at the minute. Once we get that ball right, it's going to be great. At the minute, it's not good enough. So, Mitchell takes the throw in. High. Up the line. They win the flick on, but Chelsea win the ball back. Good ball from Reece James. Inside to Rudiger. Top of the centre circle. Rudiger now. Drifting out to his left-hand side. Gives it to Alonso. Werner drops deep. Gives him the option. Gives it back to Alonso. Werner spins. Alonso ignores him. Back to Rudiger. Centre circle now. Christensen. Wide right is Reece James. Halfway inside their half. Collects it and gives Jorginho in space. Finds Mason Mount. Under pressure from MacArthur. Wide right to Havertz. Gets the ball back. Chelsea different with the ball in midfield and Palace won it back. Zaha. Challenged by Christensen. Falls over. Referee buys it again. Crystal Palace free kick. Just inside the centre circle. Shooting challenge from Christensen. Just steps in. Steps across Wilfried Zaha. Challenges him. He's going nowhere, Zaha. Stand up. They got a chance now to get the ball forward. Chelsea's high line is pushed right up. 10 yards away from the bottom of the centre circle. They play a long ball over the top. One on Alonso. Ward makes a run down the right wing. Alonso comes across. Plays the ball off of him for Chelsea from him. Plays it short to Jorginho. This flicks it back to Rudiger, who's going to play it inside. Jorginho's got some space. Edge of our box. Lays it off to Christensen. Wide right of the penalty box is Reece James. Collects it, gives it to Asper, who's come inside. Up the line to Havertz. Two players around him. Back to Asper. Tries to play a run up, a ball in behind to the runner Mason Mount, but they come across, clear the ball away. Head tennis again. Back to Guehi. Under pressure from Havertz. Goes back to Butland. It's a midfield battle at the minute. Anderson. Back to Guehi. Koyate, edge of his own box. Butland. They switch positions. Anderson's playing on the left now. Koyate in the middle. And Guehi on the right. They're now switching back. Butland launches it forward. Christensen underneath it. Wins a good header against Mateta. Eze collects the loose ball on the halfway line. Back to Anderson. Back to Gurhey. Out to Eze. Up the line to Mitchell. Aspie shuts him down. Off of him. Crystal Palace throw him. The sound's breaking up. It shouldn't be. Everything's all right at my end. Restart or just refresh, Martin. Palace throwing. 10 yards inside our half. Left wing. Our right-hand side. Mitchell will take it. Got no option. He's holding on to the ball for too long. And the referee's time to get on with it. Up the line. Looking for the run of Mateta in behind. Ball goes over everyone. Christensen then launches it. Headed forward by Anderson. Aspie wins a header. Up the line. Inside of our half still. MacArthur pins the ball up down our left-hand side. Our right-hand side, sorry, their left wing. And Chelsea get the ball away over halfway this time. Chelsea been a bit flat this half, I have to say that. Maybe a little bit of hangover for midweek. They've got to freshen things up a bit here. Bit flat, I have to say. 2 minutes of injury time on the end of the first half. Palace throwing. Mitchell right in front of the benches. Take it. Up the line. Christensen wins the ball. Heads it away. Havertz holds off Gurhey. Tries to flick it further forward. Argy-bargy between Havertz and Gurhey. Havertz flicks out. Gurhey's gone down. Referee says free kick. Havertz is booked already. He's got to be careful. Palace with no rush take their free kicks here. Anderson, 5 yards inside his own half. Left to centre. Going to launch it. Mateta pulls right out to Rudiger's side. Left-hand side of the centre-back free. Looking for a long ball. Loftus-Cheek's come out there to help him. And he launches it the other way. Up the line, looking for a run of Wilfried Zaha. Who keeps the ball in. He's actually played it back to the edge of the box. Slap. Get the ball away. Reece James, well done. Palace again. Launch it up to our right-hand side, their left wing, and we get the ball away with Azpilicueta. Another Palace throw-in towards the edge of our box, left-hand side. Mitchell will take it. Mateta goes literally by the corner flag. Try and drag somebody with him. They pin it into Zaha, flicks it forward. Rudiger takes the touch, then goes to volley the ball away, and second attempt he does it. But Koyate wins it inside of our half and then finds Eze. Palace come away with the ball again. Mason Mount now goes after Eze. He founds Eze. They go down again. Another Crystal Palace free kick. Stupid free kicks were given away here. Chelsea are just not functioning at the minute. Poor first half from Chelsea. And I think you'll hear Tuchel saying the same thing. So once again, our high line. 15 yards outside of our own box. Palace free kick launched high towards the edge. They win the first header, Anderson. We get it away with Christensen the second one. The referee blows his whistle. Crystal Palace 0. Chelsea 0. Half time. And I have to say, that is not a great first half from Chelsea. Chelsea are doing well up to the final third. And the final ball is poor. Crystal Palace with a big chance in the first half. The closest to scoring. A great shot from Koyate on the volley. Edouard Mendy parries it away down the left-hand side and Anderson follows up, hits the post and the ball bounces away and Chelsea clear it. As far as Chelsea's concerned, a ball down the left-hand side for Timo Werner. He takes on Koyate, gets around him, gets to the byline, puts a pins across towards the back post with Aspie running onto it. But the ball's too high to volley. It's too low to head. Aspie gets a little bit mixed up. Tries a scissor kick in mid-air, comes off his knee and goes out of play for a Palace goal kick. That's the closest Chelsea's come. It's been poor, I have to say. They look flat, Chelsea. Need a bit of inspiration here. I thought that front three would be good. Kai Havertz has been out of the game, really. He's been trying to get hold of the ball. He's been trying to win possession and trying to keep hold of it. He's getting challenged. He's given away free kicks. He's been booked already for diving. Blatant dive as well when you see the replay. In normal speed, look like he was fouled. Replay, Gurhey sort of stops, doesn't even make an effort. Challenge him and Havertz just falls on the floor as if he was caught. It was poor from Havertz, I have to say. Anyway, poor half from Chelsea. It can only get better, as they say. The good thing is, Chelsea have created some good opportunities to find space. The final ball is lacking, but we've got the options to get ourselves sorted out for the second half. We've got players that can come on and change the game with Pulisic, Ziyech, Lukaku, Niguez, people like that. So, and Conte, let's be positive. How are you all doing? Are you enjoying the commentary? If you are, smash that like button for me. 31 likes so far. Let's try and get to 50 by half time. I'm not going to sound on for them. I can't be bothered to listen to the actual pundits. It's Roy Keane, Joe Cole and Ian Wright. They're probably going to say the same thing I am, that Chelsea are flat at the minute. No real spark to Chelsea's play. We've lost Kovacic due to injury. Twisted his ankle in the first half. He went off. Loftus-Cheek's come on. Still got 4 changes to make. Maybe this is a game where we try, put Lukaku on, put Timo Werner next to him, go 2 up front. Put Ziyech on one side, put Pulisic on the other, and go at it. And let's see what happens. Maybe. Hope you're enjoying your Easter weekend. Happy Easter to every single one of you. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate it. Smash that like button for me. Let's hope this doesn't go extra time and penalties. We've had enough of them this season. So yeah, disappointing from Chelsea. Very disappointing so far this first half, I've got to say. Somebody said earlier in the chat about Azpilicueta's contract. There's no contract details. They can't do anything until the sanctions are done. Hopefully, the sale will be done soon. God knows who's actually going to be the ones that buy Chelsea. But thank God Ricketts have gone. Let's see what happens. Ice cold, thank you, mate. Appreciate it. And Paul as well. Martin definitely changes, I think. If he doesn't change anything at half time, that's a shame, because for me, I think he needs to. He's got to freshen things up a bit. The problem that we have is he's probably going to be a little bit hesitant making changes at half time, because let's be honest, at the Bernabeu, the subs that came on did absolutely nothing in the game. Didn't influence the game at all, didn't make any changes. So, I wonder. Time for another beverage. Hold on. It's Easter Sunday. Weather's fantastic. It's been nice. It's been nice here. What changes will you guys make to that Chelsea 11 that started the game? We're looking flat. Crystal Palace's press has been better than Chelsea's. Palace have been a better side based on the way they're playing, their possession, trying to look to play the ball through early. They've created a good chance, good opportunity, which is disappointing to say. But Roy Keane, I'm looking at Roy Keane now. He's probably turning around and saying about how poor it was. Holiday was not too bad, Martin, apart from the fact we all got COVID. Everyone got COVID in Florida. I got it and I had it until I come home, unfortunately. I could still go out and about as long as I was wearing a mask. But unfortunately, it was spoiled it a little bit. My wife, my little boy got COVID. Mother-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, all got COVID. The only person that didn't get it was my brother-in-law's little girl. But yeah, it's just rife. It's rife out there. Unfortunately, the rules and the awareness, well, not the awareness, I think the awareness is the wrong thing to say, but people don't seem too bothered about it out there, which is disappointing. But as we all know, COVID is here to stay for a long time yet. Joe Cole's inside the studio, the ITV studio, shaking his head. He's not happy. That's the thing. So, what we wanted from this game, coming into this game, was obviously, the players will be draining. They'll be drained from midweek. An absolutely fantastic performance. Right, they're actually pinpointing here. Right, so the coverage from ITV in the UK, they're pinpointing Timo Werner. And Ian Wright is a massive fan of Timo Werner and his work rate off the ball. And they're pinpointing the fact that Timo Werner's making runs here in between defenders and he's pointing, asking for the ball. And he's not getting the ball. He gets it once out of four opportunities. When they give it to Werner, he's the one that's going to create the space. He's the one that they're worried about because of his pace. Kai Havertz hasn't... I mean, he's not too bad. He's not the paciest, is he, Havertz? But it's Werner. No defenders like pace. Play Werner through the middle. At the minute, he's playing left side with Havertz sort of the right side and Mount a little bit deeper. Play Werner through the middle. Play Mount on the left. Play Havertz on the right. Just do something. Change things up a bit. Even make substitutions. Put Lukaku on, for God's sake. I was going to say, put Lukaku on and get him to bully some defenders, but we all know that doesn't happen. So, we shall see what happens second half. But yeah, just got to be a bit sharper with their passing in the final third. Need to up their game and step it up another gear, Chelsea. Need to be quicker. It's just been a bit slack, I have to say. And Palace, what Palace are doing, Palace are pressing up. They're not sort of, they're pushed up. They're allowing Chelsea's back three to have the ball around the edge of our box. As soon as the ball comes forward, they go to press and they shut it down. But what they do is their front three go to press, or their attacking players go to press, supported by their midfielders. And so many times we've collected the ball with Jorginho in the middle of midfield. He's got 2 or 3 players around him. And he's looking for support, and he hasn't got any, to be fair. And he's in his defence. At times he hasn't got it, but at times he's too slow. So, let's just do something this half. Let's change it up. Let's mix things up. Come on, we can do this. We can win this game. We can get through and play Liverpool in the final. We owe Liverpool big time. Talking to a Liverpool fan yesterday, 3 times we played them this season. They know that and acknowledge they've been lucky in at least 2 of them. Of course, we got to the final last season, which I'm just in a bloody replay of. Lost to Leicester. Don't know how we lost that game. Let's get to this final again. And let's sort out our Wurzel Klopp and his team. Old Dick Van Dijk and Wurzel Klopp. Let's sort them out. And let's get the right result against them for once. Anyway, we're a couple of minutes away from second half. Let's hope we make changes. By putting Werner through the middle will be a start. But we shall see what happens. Somebody's put on Twitter, first time I've seen simulation booked all season. Of course it's Taylor, and of course it's Chelsea. Honestly. So, come on Chelsea, let's do this second half. Let's just start much better than we finished the game. Let's be on the front foot. Let's go up a gear. Let's push 10 yards further forward. Let's press and let's play with intensity. Because when we play with intensity, that's when we're at our very, very best. None of this... I know Wembley's a big pitch, and of course I've not played on Wembley, and people talk about the fact it's big and it's energy sapping, but that's what you got your 5 subs for. We've used 1 already. Kovacic off, Loftus-Cheek on. We got 4 other subs to make. Ziyech, Pulisic, N'Golo Kante and Lukaku. I'll bring all 4 of those on at some point. Just to mix it up a bit. Big game coming up on Wednesday against the Arsenal. Who have had a shocking run of form, Arsenal, haven't they? Great result results for us this weekend. Come on, Chelsea. Let's do this. Come on. Len, I agree with you. Need to move it a lot quicker. Martin, go for broke. Yeah, exactly. Hopefully, Palace will tire second half a little bit and the space will open up. They're not used to playing their 3 centre-backs. They're wing-backs. and the midfield too having to work a bit harder. I guess I have to wait and see. See what happens. But a big opportunity here for Chelsea to get through to another final under Thomas Tuchel. Another one. I think FA Cup final last year, Champions League final, Super Cup final, World Club Cup final, League Cup final. Has been 5 already. Opportunity to get to the 6th final as Chelsea manager. Outstanding achievement, I have to say. Come on, Chelsea. Come on, we can do this. It's one of those where you got a great night, a big night last Tuesday. We're outstanding, 3-0 up. We then obviously have the disappointment of Real Madrid, which sits with you for a couple of days. Whether you like it or not, whether you own up to it or not, all of us just feel gutted for 2 or 3 days. Now, if this was just to play Premier League game against, I don't know, whoever on the weekend, not one of the top 4, top 6, you'd think, oh. But this is the FA Cup semi-final. That's what I hope Thomas Tuchel's saying. You're at Wembley. You're at the FA Cup semi-final. You've got an opportunity to get yourself in the 6th final within a year. Go out there and play like you want it. Go out and play like you desire. The hunger. Show it. Get out there and do it. Don't sit there and play lazy. Don't get sucked into what the Palace want you to play. Impose your game on Crystal Palace. That's what we want to do. That's what we need to do. So just waiting for the players to come back out second half. And all we can do is say all Chelsea can do really is play better than they did first half. But I'll be surprised if he doesn't make any more changes. Let's just say that. So let's have a look at social media. Is there any more changes for Chelsea? Well, I'm still looking at the pundits in the studio. I think one of them's got to be Conte for Jorginho. It's got to be. It's got to be. Come on. Any changes? Nothing I can see at the moment. Need to make a change. Or at least give it 10 minutes, second half. Give it 10 to 15 minutes. If it's still the same, you got to change it. Right, Palace coming out for the second half. No changes for them by the looks of it. Chelsea sort of holding back. Now Aspi sprints out. Followed by Alonso. Then Rudiger. The ultimate pro Aspi, isn't he? Absolute pro. Right. It still looks like the same players are out. Havertz is out. Mount's out. James out. Werner's out. Loftus-Cheek's there. Aspi, as we said. No changes by the looks of it. It's got to go bloody extra time and penalties, isn't it? Yeah, no changes for Chelsea. Same team. Second half, we're kicking off. Kicking towards the Chelsea fans. Kicking, as we look on TV, kicking left to right. Benches on the other side of the pitch. Havertz to kick off. I'm watching it on delay again. Don't forget even. Havertz kicks off and goes back to Jorginho. Takes the touch. To his left-hand side is Rudiger. Halfway inside our half. Back to Jorginho. Bottom of the centre circle. One more. Wide left to Mason Mount. Back to Rudiger. Back to Christensen. One more to Reece James. Plays the ball forward to Loftus-Cheek, who's appeared on the right-hand side here. He's got Aspi outside of him. Turns back inside. Finds Kai Havertz, who's dropped deep. Werner's for the middle. Mounts on the left-hand side. Havertz collects a good ball. Drives towards the byline, cross towards the back post. Headed up in the air by Ward. Edge of the box, Aspie wins the header further forward. Mitchell gets it away. Jorginho comes across, chests it down and finds Havertz again, who flicks the ball inside but gives the ball away to Mateta. Challenged by Mason Mount, and Chelsea win it back, but Jorginho gives the ball away. Ward shuts down Alonso. Back to Eze. Chelsea pressing high. Started well. Eze turns, ball up the line. Mateta tries to flick it forward. Misses it, but finds Ward. Palace inside their half. Give the ball away. Rudiger goes in with Mateta. Wins the ball well and does well. Loftus-Cheek. Jorginho goes back to Christensen. Good play from Chelsea. Intent as well, which is good to see. Reece James. Wide right to Aspie. Halfway inside their half. Loftus-Cheek goes beyond him. Collects it. Holds the ball up. Under pressure from Gurhey. Back to Reece James. Back to Christensen. Halfway line. Jorginho shows for him. Collects it. Goes sideways to Rudiger. Open up that space. Mason Mount. Left channel now. Mount's playing left hand side, which is good to see. Werner through the middle. Havertz on the right. Alonso. Turns, goes up the byline, turns back and goes back to Mason Mount. Palace press out, push up. And Chelsea have to go backwards to Christensen, halfway line. Wide right is Reece James, right centre. Into the feet of Loftus-Cheek. Aspie on the byline. Finds Havertz, who drops deep to help him. Forced back to Reece James. Reece James back to Christensen. Christensen into Jorginho. Turns, got some space to find Loftus-Cheek, right hand side. Aspie's gone all the way inside to a centre forward position with Loftus-Cheek on his right hand side. Back to Reece James, back to Christensen, halfway inside of our half. Back out to Reece James now, over halfway. Inside, top of the centre circles, Jorginho plays the ball wide left to Mason Mount. Alonso goes beyond him, goes inside to Rudiger, switches it, wide right to Aspie. Takes it down, gives it to Reece James and spins. Chelsea pushing with 6 yards, 6 players forward. Reece James just outside their box, right hand side. Back to Jorginho. Palace's defensive shape. Walking. Havertz drops off dead centre to collect the ball. Gives it. Collects it. Gives it to Rudiger. Finds Mason Mount. Takes a touch. Finds Alonso. Up the lines Havertz. Flicks it off the defender. Chelsea throwing 20 yards from goal on the right hand side. On their right, our left wing. Good sustained possession from Chelsea. Got to do something with it though. Again, little 10-yard passes. Christensen. Wide right is Reece James. Lets it go beyond him to Aspie. Collects it. 25 yards out. James to Loftus-Cheek. Finds Jorginho. Finds Rudiger. Rudiger out to Alonso. Inside Jorginho. Chelsea probing, trying to find some space. Jorginho finds Werner. Finds Havertz wide left. Out to Mason Mount. From right... Oh, dearie me. So Werner and Kai Havertz make the one out to left-hand side. They give it into Werner's feet. He flicks it out to Havertz and then plays it back to Mason Mount. Now, there's nobody in the box now because everyone's gone out that side. Mason Mount comes inside, takes a touch, looks up, shoots 20 yards over the bar. Palace. Goal kick. Rolls it out to Koyate. Shut down by Werner. So he goes up the line long. Good touch from Rudiger to win it. Gives it to Alonso. Gets it back. And now finds Reece James. Bottom of the centre circle. Chelsea started well. Gives it to Loftus-Cheek. Back to Reece James. Finds Jorginho. Literally centre circle. Mason Mount left to centre. Collects it. Drives forwards to the edge of their box. Out to the left-hand side to Alonso. Back out to Werner, who drops out to the edge of their box to collect the ball. Challenged. And they come away with the ball with a deflection. And now Palace break away with Mitchell. Halfway inside his own half. Shut down by Aspie. Stops, turns, goes backwards to Gurhey. Edge of his own box. Back to Butland in his own 6-yard box. Shut down, has to get rid of it, and he does. To halfway. Reece James let Mateta go away from him. Plays it inside. And Chelsea do well to beat their press. Reece James comes away with it. Plays it left-hand side to Rudiger. Left-hand side of centre. Halfway line. Flicks it out to Mason Mount. Back to Rudiger. Just inside of our half. Bottom of the centre circle's Christensen. Reece James got acres. Palace are blowing already. Reece James now. Chelsea probing. Just working the ball. Make him work. The ball never gets tired. Simple as that. Palace will. Reece James collects the ball. Right wing. Azpilicueta. Back to Loftus-Cheek. Jorginho. Into the feet of Loftus-Cheek. Driving forward. Flicks the ball to Timo Werner. Oh, unlucky. Great move. Great move. Loftus-Cheek collects the ball inside from Reece James. He drives inside and he's 20 yards from goal. And as he's on the right corner of the penalty box, he moves inside. Werner goes across him to make that run towards the near post. He flicks it into him. And Timo Werner is just a yard in front of him too much. And the goalkeeper comes out, parries it, hits his knee, hits the goalkeeper's knee, and goes out of play. Is it a corner? Let's have a look here. It isn't. It's a goal kick. But they've given the ball away. Jorginho looking for Werner's run in the channel. And he finds him. Werner by the byline. Inside their box. Well done, Werner. Back to Azpi. And we go backwards again. Chelsea just probing. Pass the ball around. Rudiger's having a shot from distance again. 5 yards wide. We're just moving it. As Palace come out to us, we're going in between them. We're going 10 yards that way, 10 yards back, 10 yards that way. We move it out to the left-hand side of the centre to Rudiger. He's full 35 yards out, and his eyes just, from his goal the other week, he's thinking, I could score any time. This time he fires it 10 yards wide. But Palace are just chasing shadows at the minute, and he's making a change already, Viera. Ayew's coming on. Loftus-Cheek is finding himself out to his right-hand side of centre. It's almost as if without the ball, we're playing the two in the middle of defence, the middle of midfield. With the ball, Jorginho's the pivot. Loftus-Cheek's wide right. And we've got the three up front. And they don't know what to do with Loftus-Cheek at the minute. So that's why he's now making a change. Viera's brought in. He's beaten Jordan Ayew on. Chelsea getting a free kick away, by the way. Halfway inside our own half. On the right-hand side. A foul on Mateta. Palace free kick. Who's he taking off? I'm not sure he's taking off. So once again, high line from Chelsea. 10 yards outside of our penalty box. Ball comes towards the back post. We've got men over. Koyate heads it up in the air. Mendy, underneath his own crossbar, just collects it nice and simple. Mendy with his arms in the air is about 20 foot tall, so no one's going to get near him. He rushes out to his box to take an early throw, stops, complains, and then throws it out to Reece James. Finds Loftus-Cheek. He's got time to turn. Goes back to Jorginho. Wide left is Mason Mount. In that channel where he plays. Back to Rudiger. Shut down, but he has to go back quickly to Mendy. He does. Christensen. Outside of our box. Wide right is Reece James. 10 yards outside of our half. Plays a 20-yard ball forward to Loftus-Cheek. In that right channel. Collects the ball. Goes around MacArthur. Tries to play it forward. But Palace win the ball back. And then Azpilicueta goes in to make a challenge on Gurhey. Catches him. Gurhey goes down. Free kick to Crystal Palace. Yeah, Azpi caught him on the top of his foot. Right, with that, Ayew's coming on. Or Ayew's coming on. Who's he coming on for? Mateta's going off. He's been quite an influential player, Mateta. See, if it was me, just thinking it out loud, they got Benteke on the bench, who wins the balls in the air all the time. If you're Palace and you're playing for set pieces, stuff like that, why not play Benteke? It's strange. Anyway, Ayew's on from Mateta. That probably means Zaha's going to go through the middle. Maybe. We have to wait and see. Anyway, Palace's free kick. 5 yards outside their own penalty box. Left to centre. Butland is taking his time over it again. He launches it further forward. Butland. Reece James underneath it. Up against Zaha. Zaha's in a heap on the floor. James lets it go over him and then plays it into Christensen. Christensen wide left to Rudiger. Halfway inside of our half. Looks for the ball over the top. Looking for the run of Werner. Anderson comes across. Dribbles out to the right hand side. Up the line. Looking for a pass up the line. Mason Mount cuts it off. Does well. Palace throwing. Right in front of the benches. Patrick Viera is giving more instructions to his players. Tuchel sitting down on the bench. Having a little bottle of water. Quite happy with what he's seen so far. No changes for Chelsea yet. No other changes. Palace take the throw in short to Ayew. Gets it back. Play the ball over the top. Zaha's gone down with Rudiger. Complaining. Referee says play on. Back to Mendy. Launches it out to his right-hand side. Mendy. Over the head of Azpilicueta with Mitchell up against him. Got to go out to play for Crystal Palace throwing. Halfway inside their half. Chelsea pushing up now. It's been 10 minutes, 11 minutes in the second half. Let's make a change in the next 4 minutes. If we can't get anything more. Good possession so far. No shot on target yet. Second half. Palace take the throw short, then launch it. Christensen with Zaha. Does well to hold him up. Referee's blown Zaha offside. I don't think so, Alonso. Anyway, Chelsea possession. Played left side of centre to Rudiger. Goes to his right to Christensen. One more to Reece James. Shut down by Eze. Aspi. Shut down by Mitchell on halfway line. Back to Reece James. Back inside to Rudiger. Forced him 10 yards back, but he's going to collect it in loads of space and drive forward. Then he stops. Inside Jorginho. Back to Rudiger. Back to Jorginho. Back to Rudiger. Now, centre circle on the spot. Christensen strides forward. Wide right of him is Reece James. Loftus-Cheek makes a run in the channel in front of him. Goes one more out wide to Aspi. Holds off a challenge from Mitchell. Back inside to Jorginho. Christensen. Reece James. Rudiger, left side of centre. Reece James now. Under pressure, flicks it back to Christensen on the halfway line. Rudiger, left to centre. Mason Mount drop deep, get the ball, collects it, gives it to Alonso. Loftus-Cheek's moved over to the left-hand side to get involved. Palace doing well to just pressurise Chelsea and force us backwards. Christensen, bottom of the centre circle, finds Reece James in that position with Jorginho covering him on the right-hand side. Alonso, Reece James, top of the centre circle. Chelsea with 5 players in about a 20-yard radius. Move. Spread out. Do something. Reece James gets it back from Jorginho, but he's under pressure. Has to go back 10 yards. To go back out to Jorginho. Halfway inside their half. James taken out off the ball. Referee says nothing. Reece James literally got took out off the ball. Chelsea's got possession. James is looking at the referee like this, as if to say, what's happening here? He didn't give anything. Slupp has caught Reece James off the ball. Reece James plays the ball away. He catches Reece James. Sluppy's gone down injured because he hurt himself by doing it. What's the referee giving here? Is he giving a free kick against Reece James? He's going to drop ball. Taylor, you're a joke. You're an absolute joke. When it comes to Chelsea, you're a joke, mate. Anyway, drop ball. Christensen, unchallenged, collects it. Gives it to his left-hand side to Rudiger. Under pressure, Rudiger. Finds Jorginho. Back to Rudiger. Chelsea needs to be more dynamic than this. We're not dynamic enough in midfield. Play it into Havertz. He's under pressure from 4 Palace players and gives the ball away. Palace driving forward. Up the line to Zaha. Up against Christensen. Holds him off. Right wing. Our left-hand side. Christensen doing well. Zaha gets to the byline. Cross comes into the back post. Headed away by Azpilicueta. That was all because Chelsea are too lazy in midfield. Jorginho giving 10-yard balls backwards and forwards. It's just stupid. Get him off. Get Conte on. If he wants to go in the summer, Jorginho, just get rid of him. He's too slow. Palace corner. Right. Eze to take it. Chelsea got to step up. Got to liven up here. Hour gone. Palace corner. From our right-hand side. Cross comes in. Headed down and just wide by Koyate. Up challenging with Rudiger. And he heads it down and the ball goes with Mendy beaten. Nobody on the near post. He heads it down. It goes a yard wide. Literally a yard wide. And as he does that, Mendy's doing this. Just goes past him. Beaten. Deary me. Chelsea are living dangerous here. So we have the goal kick. Havertz going to go off here. Right, so we have the goal kick and we take it short. It gets played into midfield and we launch it. Back to goal, up to Kai Havertz. And to be fair, he's trying to run onto it. Anderson comes across. He hasn't caught him in his head. As he comes across, Havertz and Anderson bump into each other. Anderson's going down holding onto his head. He's only got the referee now saying that Havertz has already been booked. Tuchel's got to take Havertz off. He's one challenge away from another yellow card. He's been booked. He's given 2 fouls away already. One more, he's off. Take him off. Take Kai Havertz off and put Lukaku on. Do something. The TV coverage in the UK is now looking at all the Palace fans up singing, clapping. It's been poor from Chelsea. So poor. It's a Palace free kick. 15 yards inside their own half. Chelsea puts up a defensive line of 5. Zaha's playing through the middle. Plays his left-hand side to Gurhey. Up the line to Mitchell. Tries to play a ball forward. Deflected. Eze flicks it forward and Christensen fouls Zaha on his back. And now he dives. The referee says play on. Mason Mount collects it on the centre circle. Wide left of him is Alonso. Gets his foot on the ball. Goes backwards. Well done. Back to Rudiger. Tuchel, you got to react. He's not doing it yet. Jorginho, ball over the top, looking for Timo Werner, finds him, chests it down, but the defenders come across him and get the ball away. Back to the goalkeeper. Up to halfway. Rudiger takes a touch, under pressure from Ayew. Wilfried Zaha, sorry. Then Zaha falls over again. And then Zaha's referee's telling him no foul. Zaha, book him. Simulation again, that's twice. Anyway, Jorginho, centre spot, collects it. Palace backing off. Plays into the feet of Havertz. In front of their back 4. Wide right is Aspi. Back onto his left foot. Edge of the box. Cross comes in. Headed away. Then Eze volleys the ball away. Christensen's got time to bring the ball down and take a touch, and he does. He finds Jorginho. To his left is Rudiger. Left-hand side is centre. Top of the centre circle. Back to Jorginho. Looks around. Got space. One more to his right. Azpilicueta. Havertz in that channel. Collects it. Aspi goes beyond him. Havertz holds it up and goes back to Reece James. Inside Jorginho, back to Reece James. He's saying it to Christensen, come up and join me. They do. Christensen, wide left to Alonso, halfway inside their half. Jorginho, dead centre, looking for an option. Shut down by Ayew. Turns away from him, finds Mason Mount in the channel, left-hand side. Edge of the box. Back to Rudiger, back to Jorginho, shut down. Flicks the ball over the top, looking for Mason Mount. He's overplayed it, out of play for Crystal Palace. Goal kick. Change it, Tuchel. You've got to change it. 65 minutes approaching. Don't hold on to 4 subs till 10 minutes before the end. So, Palace goal kick. Button's got Anderson next to him. He's told him to move away. He's going to launch it. Butland's going to take it. Taking his time. Again. 30 seconds so far. He's going to launch it out to our left-hand side. Their right wing. Right out towards the benches. Alonso goes up when it's a good header against Ward. Anderson heads it forward to halfway. Loftus-Cheek powers the header forward. They clear it and find Jorginho. Halfway line, Reece James. Back inside to Jorginho. Ball in behind, trying to find Werner. They get the ball away with Gurhey. Mitchell tries to away from challenge. Aspi wins it back. Well done. Jorginho. Right hand side of the box is Havertz. Gets towards the byline. Plays it ball inside. Loftus-Cheek! Come on! Get in there! Mitchell is stuttering with the ball on the left hand side. Halfway inside his own half. He goes to play the ball at the line. He's shut down by Azpilicueta. He comes inside and Aspi's supported by somebody else. I can't remember who it was. And we win the ball back. Here we go. He's 25 yards out, Mitchell. Aspi nicks it off of him, plays it inside Jorginho and finds Kai Havertz, who went over to help. Havertz step over. Gets just outside the 6-yard box, right-hand side. Plays the ball back inside via deflection. It comes to the edge of the box and Loftus-Cheek just a yard inside the penalty box, steps onto it and volleys the ball on the half volley even, and he strikes it right-footed, and it comes off a defender, beats Butland and goes into the roof of the net. And that's it. Crystal Palace 0, Chelsea 1 off the back of Anderson. Takes it away from Butland. And it's 1-0 Chelsea. God for that. That will force Crystal Palace into a change. Anyway, they're coming forward and Loftus-Cheek's been fouled just at the bottom of the centre circle. Palace are now all complaining at the referee. They're losing their heads. This will work out for us. Well done, Jorginho. I'll give him some stick a minute ago. He was alive to play the pass into the feet of Kai Havertz, who drove on that right-hand side of the penalty box forward, played that pass across, deflected. Okay, it was deflected to Loftus-Cheek on the edge. But Chelsea did well to be alive and to mop up the situation. 1-0, Loftus-Cheek, get in. Chelsea possession deep inside of our half. Christensen plays it forward and finds Havertz. Centre circle. He's crowded out again. Loses the ball. And Palace play it up to the left-hand side. Up to Wilfried Zaha, who's offside. All Zaha's at the minute is just moaning. Chelsea free kick taken across our back three to Rudiger. Finds Mason Mount, who's dropped into the left back position because Alonso's gone forward. And Rudiger, ball over top looking for Timo Werner. He's in and behind, but the keeper comes out. Collects the ball. Simple. Palace play the ball forward. Up over halfway. Christensen up against Wilfried Zaha, loses out. Aspie nicks in and wins it. Jorginho collects it. Back to Rudiger. Christensen, top of the centre circle. Rudiger. Mason Mount in the channel, left-hand side. Being pressurised by Slup. Does well to hold him off. And goes back to Rudiger. Jorginho, bottom of the centre circle this time. Collects it in loads of space. Finds Reece James wide right. James got Aspie up the byline. Gives it to him 10 yards. Back inside Jorginho, halfway line. Right of centre. Ball over the top. Looking for the run of Timo Werner. In the channel. Collects it by the byline. Plays it back inside. Loftus-Cheek. Supporting. Goes back to Aspie. Edge of the box right hand side. Mason Mount's asking for it on the far post. Gives it to him. Jorginho. Mount holds the ball up. Does well as well. Got no support. Then eventually does well to play it back to Rudiger. Halfway inside their half. Jorginho sweeps it out his right-hand side to Aspie. But ball's too high. Aspie can't control it. When he has a bad touch. They nip in with Mitchell and he fouls Mitchell. Free kick for Crystal Palace. Martin, you're right. Werner's got the beat in their defence time and time again. Anyway, Crystal Palace free kick. 22 to go. Smash that like button for me, people. I need 2 more likes for 50. Button's going to take it. He's taking his time again, believe it or not. He launches it over halfway. Dead centre this time. Rudiger's underneath it. Wins a big header against RU. Anderson nicks in and launches it forward. Just blasts it forward. Out of play. Chelsea throwing deep inside of our half. Level the edge of our box. On the right-hand side. Aspie's going to take it. Takes it early. Jorginho puts him under pressure. And then flicks the ball further forward up the line. Loftus-Cheek holding off the challenge of Mitchell. Comes off of Loftus-Cheek. And it's a Palace throw-in. And Benteke's coming on. I said it a minute ago. Benteke's warming up. He's actually stripped off. About to come on. Gurhey gives the ball away. And Chelsea tried to break with Kai Havertz. But it goes out of play. Just over halfway. He was in. Unlucky. Viera with a look at the scoreboard. 20 to go. He's got to do something to change it. Their back three didn't work. And now they've got the throw with Mitchell. Goes forward to Eze. Challenged by Jorginho and wins the ball. Loftus-Cheek into the feet of Kai Havertz. Tackled by Anderson. Great challenge to be fair. Then Eze plays it forward. Reece James nicks in front of Wilfried Zaha. And then Loftus-Cheek wins the ball against Slup. And the referee is looking at him and blows up for a free kick. And he won the ball. And Wilfried Zaha is just moaning at everything at the minute. Loftus-Cheek won the ball. They're all complaining that Palace, that he's dived in the challenge. He hasn't. The referee's asking to have a word with him now. Taylor, you're a joke. Honestly, absolute bell piece, that referee. Honestly. So frustrating. Palace free kick. 5 yards inside their own half. Left to centre. Gurhey to take it. Launches it further forward. Up to the right-hand side. Alonso on our left-hand side. Heads it away. They collect the second ball. Play it up the line. And then Mason Mount challenges somebody else. Somebody else gone down injured. And they give it again. Another free kick. Mason Mount and Chelsea players doing this. Just shaking their heads. And with that, the changes will be made. Palace. What are they doing? Who are they changing? 2 changes. They're bringing on Elise and Benteke. He's a danger, Benteke. Honestly, all they've got to do is launch it in the air. That's all they're going to do the whole time, the rest of the game. So Benteke's coming on for slap out of their midfield. Oh, it's MacArthur and slap. 2 midfielders have gone off. Benteke and Elise have come on for Palace. And with that, Azpilicueta is picking up Benteke to mark him. Right, their free kick. Wide right, halfway side of our half. They play it short on the byline. Elise comes inside and plays the ball in behind. Well done, Reece James on the cover. Gets the ball out of play. It's a Crystal Palace throw-in. About 10 yards from the corner flag. They've actually gone backwards with it. They go short. Eze to Ward. Gets it back. Play it forward. Chelsea win the second ball and get it ball away up to halfway. Gurhey takes a touch and goes back to Butland. Chelsea can push up now. Butland blows wide right to Anderson. Back to Butland. Werner's up there. Loftus-Cheek's there. Havertz is there pressing. Gurhey finds Mitchell. Alonso goes to meet him. Goes around him. Up the line to Ayew. Forced backwards by Reece James. Back to Gurhey and Loftus-Cheek's after him. Back to Butland. 6-yard box Butland. Takes one touch forward and then launches it. Win the header. Christensen doesn't. Benteke flicks it forward to Wilfried Zaha. Lays it off. Ayew, left-hand side. Drives toward the edge of our box. Plays a pass into Wilfried Zaha. Collects it. Goes across to the back post or towards the edge of the box to Eze. Elise, right-hand side of our penalty box, up against Alonso and Mason Mount. Cross deflected. Christensen half clears it out to the wide right position. Elise on the byline. Flicks it inside to Ayew. Lays it off to Ward on the byline. Chelsea got 3 defenders fronting up them. Chelsea forced them backwards to the edge of to the bottom of the centre circle. Gurhey, Eze, up against Loftus-Cheek. Holds him up. Forced him backwards, Loftus-Cheek. Well done. Gurhey, one more out to Mitchell, to Ayew, who's come out to his left-hand side now. Ayew up against Azpilicueta. It's Jorginho even. Holds him up. Does well. Don't dive in. He's halfway inside of our half. Moving out to his left-hand side to the wing. Jorginho's following him. Doing well here to block him off. He then comes inside, gives it to Zaha. Flicks it forward into the feet of Benteke. Chelsea do well to get around him. And then Reece James wins second ball. Plays it forward, deflected to Loftus-Cheek. Can break forward from midfield, and he does. And he's away. Loftus-Cheek. He's got Werner to his left. Havertz to his right. Havertz holds the ball up. Comes back inside. He doesn't. He come back inside, then drifted back out again. Out to the byline. Fouled by Gurhey. He's not fouled by Gurhey. Gurhey plays it off for Havertz. Goes out for a throw-in. Crystal Palace throw-in. Big opportunity for Chelsea. Havertz played the wrong ball. But then Crystal Palace give the throw-in away. But well done, Rudiger. Havertz wins it. Tries to find Werner on the edge, and he does. Chests it down. Mason Mount. Alonso's beyond him. Right, left corner of the penalty box. Werner into Mason Mount. Takes one touch. And Mason Mount scores! Come on! Chelsea 2. Crystal Palace 0. Brilliant play. Brilliant play. We played it. We lose the ball high in our half. Up by the centre circle. Rudiger goes in and clatters Benteke or somebody and wins the ball back. And we find it. And he comes into Kai Havertz. He looks and finds Timo Werner, left side of centre. Cole's a great big ball over to him. And Werner on the edge of the box. Back to goal, chests it down. Plays it inside to Mason Mount, who goes back out to Werner. And Timo Werner holds the ball up, plays it square to Mount, who takes a great first touch beyond the Palace defenders, into the box, strolls up to it, side foot, right foot, beyond the goalkeeper, into the far post. Brilliant play from Werner and Mount. Werner holds it up, into Mount, Mount back to Werner. Werner on the edge, just plays it square, along the edge of the penalty box to Mount. And his first touch takes him beyond two defenders, through on goal, looks up at the goalkeeper, side foots to the very far post, and it's Chelsea 2, Crystal Palace 0, and that's the final for Chelsea. It's got to be. And with that, Mason Mount comes off, getting a massive smack on the back 5 times, and Jorginho's off, and Lukaku's on, and Hakim Ziyech are on. Changes by Thomas Tuchel. Ziyech and Lukaku for Jorginho and Mason Mount. So Loftus-Cheek and Conte's on as well. Who else has gone off? I'll catch up with you in a minute. Palace playing dodgy in their own half. Chelsea make a foul halfway inside their own half, and it's a Crystal Palace free kick. So Werner, Havertz and Mount have gone off. No, Werner's still on. Mount, Jorginho and Havertz are off for Conte, Ziyech and Lukaku. Loftus-Cheek and Conte in the middle of midfield. Ziyech is playing on the right as Chelsea get the ball away, edge of the box. Dearie me. Chelsea possession is pointless. We're just going backwards, just trying to hold on to it. We go to our left-back position. We play it into defeated Christensen, who stutters, gets tackled, and Reece James comes across last minute, just blasts it away for a corner, and then turns around to Christensen and everybody else going, what are you doing? Crystal Palace corner. Stupid. So Conte Loftus-Cheek middle of midfield. Werner, Ziyech and Lukaku up front. Cross comes in from the corner. Oh my God. Massive chance for Palace. Corner goes to the near post. Gurhey goes there, wins it clean. Flicks it towards the back post to Anderson, who's totally unmarked. Totally unmarked. And he heads it 3 yards out over the bar. Massive chance for Anderson. And he heads it over the bar. Awful. Honestly, big chance for Palace. And he's doing this as he runs back. Big chance for them. Chelsea possession up to halfway. Conte gives it to Rudiger, left-hand side. Back inside to Conte. Goes back to Christensen. So Chelsea made 4 changes, 1 to go. Mendy, edge of his own penalty box, launched it up to his right-hand side. Lukaku free header, hits it, he wins that one. Flicks it forward, looking for Ziyech, but doesn't find him. Mitchell goes back to Gurhey, shut down by Lukaku, back to Butland. Lukaku's chased him down, and Butland gets the ball away. Right-footed, high. Rudiger free header, just heads it up in the air, over halfway. Anderson strides onto it, heads it forward, via deflection, comes back to Koyate, who's under pressure on the halfway line, goes back to Ward, has dropped deep. Palace playing a back 4 now. Anderson, halfway inside of our half, their own half, sorry. Wide right is Ward. Up the line is Elise. Comes inside, Alonso falls over. Halfway inside his own half still, asking for an option, has to go square to Gurhey, shut down by Ziyech. Elise, up to Ayew. Holds the ball up for a challenge from Reece James, goes back to Gurhey. Mark Gurhey now. Shut down by Hakim Ziyech. Has to go back to Butland. Butland takes a touch, plays it out the right-hand side of the centre to Anderson. Lukaku goes across. Anderson just launches one high, looking for the run of Ayew. Christensen covers it off and does well. Heads it down to Rudiger. Plays it to his left-hand side to Alonso. Nice little ball inside to Conte. 1-2s. 1-2s again. Conte and Alonso working their way forward. Alonso looks for Lukaku, not on the same wavelength. Give the ball away. Goes back to Butland. Butland now. By his penalty spot. Launches it forward to the right-hand side. Our left. But Christensen reads it. Comes across. Wins the header down to Conte. Reece James now. Halfway inside our own half. Good ball inside to Conte. Forward to Hakim Ziyech, who collects it and moves out from the centre circle out to his right hand side. Plays the ball, stupid ball to Azpilicueta. It doesn't reach him. They half clear it as far as Werner. Finds Hakim Ziyech by the D. Shoots. Goalkeeper saves down to his right hand side. Well played, Werner. Werner works across again. Timo Werner's work rate is outstanding. I don't care what anybody says. His work rate is unbelievable. Palace with possession. Go back inside to Mark Gurhey. Edge of his own penalty box. To Kayate. To Jordan Ayew. Back to Kayate. Sorry, to Mitchell. Eze. Kayate's pushed up into midfield now. Bottom of the centre circle. One more to his right is Anderson. Chelsea pushed up and doing well to just make them play it across their back line, not forward. Now they play it to left-hand side to Mitchell. Ball up the line, got a runner. Jordan Ayew's in behind. Reece James comes across, holds him up, he tries to cross it. Reece James does really well, Reece James, well done. He stands up and then he does that thing where he just bends down. And as Ayew tries to cross it, it hits Reece James on his knee, bounces off of Ayew and goes out for a Chelsea goal kick. Brilliant play from Reece James, well done. Gets a big pat on his chest from Azpilicueta. Another change, the fifth and final change. Thiago Silva's coming on. And Christensen's gone off. Doesn't look happy, Christensen, but he's off. He's had a decent game, Christensen. Made a couple of mistakes, but decent. Chelsea been much, much better second half. First half was poor. Second half, much better. So Tony Rudiger's got the ball from the goal kick. Plays it into the feet of Loftus-Cheek to Silva. Plays a good first-time ball into Hakim Ziyech, who's got acres of space as Palace pressed over halfway. Ziyech left to centre, right to centre, sorry. Up the line to Aspi. Gave him some work to do, but he's done well, Aspi, to keep hold of possession. Loftus-Cheek, back to Reece James, right to centre. Plays it square to Rudiger. Heads it forward, but gives it away to Anderson. Plays it out to the right-hand side to Eze. Well done. Rudiger goes in to win the challenge, wins it. Crystal Palace throwing deep inside their own half and they throw it square to Butland. Plays it outside of his own box to Gurhey. One more left to Mitchell. Halfway inside of our half, driving forward. Their half, sorry. Aspi on the deck wins the ball off of Ayew and turns away from him. Fantastically well and finds Loftus-Cheek centre circle. Holds off a challenge from Benteke. Conte, Rudiger, Thiago Silva. Silva now, right hand side to Aspi on the halfway line. Inside of him is Loftus-Cheek. Turns away from a challenge to Kayate, goes back to Silva. One more ride right is Reece James. Into the feet is Ziyech, who drops off the attacking line. Plays the ball in behind, looking for Lukaku's run, but overplays it. And Butland comes out and collects the ball nice and simple. Rolls it out to Mitchell. Kayate shut down by Ziyech, back to Mitchell to Butland. What's happening here now? What's happened here now? Rudiger's gone down. Sitting down. He's sort of suggesting as though he's got like a pull in his groin, maybe. Tuchel doesn't really look concerned. Just trying to go again. Great goal from Loftus-Cheek. Great goal from Loftus-Cheek. A great goal from Mason Mount as well. Him and Werner did really well. Palace pushed up a defensive line on the edge of their box. Werner plays it square to Mount. He just takes one touch, goes in between two defenders, into the box. Left-hand side of the penalty box, just opens his body up, far post. Koyate's gone off for Palace. Milivojevic has come on. Club captain, he can't get a game. Anyway, Rudiger's not gone off. He's carrying on. They're playing on. And Palace goal kick goes short. Gurhey, left-hand side is Mitchell. Ziyech is working hard to shut him down. Does well to force him backwards. Milivojevic, left side of centre, deep inside his own half. Has to go right-hand side and back 10 yards to Anderson to go square to Gurhey. Halfway inside his own half. Up to the halfway line, goes square, Milivojevic. Chelsea backing off. Ball over the top right-hand side, looking for the run of Elise. Collects it, up against Alonso, onto his left foot. Got a runner outside of him, ignores him, plays it inside to Milivojevic. Back out wide right to nobody, goes out of play. and it rolls out of play for a Chelsea throw-in by the corner flag. Elise and the runner from the right-hand side, Ward, went beyond them, and Milivojevic didn't see it and just literally passed it out to nobody. Chelsea throw-in by the corner flag, which Alonso will take. 5 to go plus injury time. Takes it short, Alonso gets it back, blasts it up the line. Anderson can chest it down under no pressure, finds Milivojevic. Ward on the byline, up the line to Elise. Inside to Eze. Elise goes down on Alonso. Referee says play on. They go back to Gurhi, halfway line. Gurhi plays the ball forward to Ayew. Chelsea defensive shape is good. Eze now driving forward. Ziyech comes across and Ziyech does what he always does. He didn't. Referee says play on. And Chelsea now break forward with Timo Werner, left-hand side. Over halfway inside their half. Werner, left wing. Got 2 players to his right. Comes inside and gives it away. He looks up, saw Lukaku and Ziyech. And as he looks up, he loses where the ball is. But he's done well tracking back. Timo Werner, he's won the ball halfway. Now Conte goes square. Azpilicueta slowing it down. Loftus-Cheek. Werner's back up on his feet. Brilliant work from Werner. And then Chelsea give the ball away. Or we don't. We just keep it in play. Just over halfway. We're knocking about 10 yards forward. Keep on possession. Into Loftus. Ziyech. He plays the ball forward. Lukaku. Right inside the penalty box. Plays it inside. Looking for Alonso. It was Asp even. Goes beyond him. Werner's got to knock it. And he's trying to run it off. But of course we made 5 subs. Palace. Come forward, halfway inside their own half. Milivojevic, looking for an option, hasn't got one. They're all blowing, Palace. They've lost their willpower. Milivojevic, ball over the top, looking for the run. He's got a run at Jordan Ayew. Mendy comes out and meets him. Collects it inside the box. Nice and simple. Good. Rolls it out to Rudiger. Rudiger to N'Golo Conte. Good first time ball to Alonso between defenders. And Alonso can drive over halfway. Left-hand side. Looks for Werner, but I think he noticed he was injured. And just holds it up and goes back to Rudiger. Little dummy, Rudiger. 10 yards inside of our half. Gives it to Conte. Moves away from the challenge and finds Loftus-Cheek. Bottom of the centre circle. Loftus-Cheek just comes out to his right-hand side and gives it to Reece James and gets it back. Back to his left is Conte. Wide left is Alonso. Inside is Werner. Back to Alonso. Just over halfway. Inside their half. Just mucking about of it now, Chelsea. Hold on to play. Elise fouls Alonso. Referee gives us a free kick. Good job, I was sitting down. Right on the halfway line. Rudiger's going to take it. Timo Werner, I think, might be the man of the match here. He is. He's the man of the match, Timo Werner. He's played outstanding. Really well, Timo Werner. Chelsea just sweep a great big free kick out to Asp on the right-hand side to switch it up. He does well to control it. Reece James, Loftus-Cheek, Conte, into Ziyech. Great ball, Loftus-Cheek. Werner, left-hand side of the penalty box. Do you know what? Werner did nothing wrong there. He got inside the penalty box. He got to the 6-yard box, left-hand side of it, and he pulls it square looking for Lukaku. Lukaku's gone to the penalty spot. They half clear it. We win the ball back halfway inside their half. Hakim Ziyech now. Lays it off to Conte. Lukaku pulled away from the 6-yard box that goes to the penalty spot. Werner looks at him where he was. Plays it across the 6-yard box for a tap-in. Lukaku's gone the other way. Anyway, Chelsea hold on to possession and go all the way back to Mendy. Back to Hakim Ziyech, who's been fouled by Wilfried Zaha. Just inside of our half. It's actually Loftus-Cheek, sorry. And it's a Chelsea free kick. 30 seconds of normal time to go. Chelsea are in the final against Liverpool. We're going to do the bin dippers this time around. We owe them for the League Cup. 3 times we played them this season and we've been better than them for the most part in all of them. Chelsea with possession. Rudiger looking long for Lukaku. Chests it down. Does well to hold off one challenge. Comes out to Werner. Driving forward. Lukaku hit the post. Ziyech off the defender and deflected away for a corner. Brilliant play from Chelsea. Ball up to Lukaku. Does well to chest it down and turn away from a defender. 25 yards from goal. Gurhi comes across and gets a foot in, but Werner's onto it. Drives into left-hand side of the penalty box. Squares it to Lukaku. who side foots it onto the post. It comes off the post. Werner's outstanding. Lukaku should have scored. He's dead centre and he's sort of clipped it and it hits the post and Hakim Ziyech takes a touch inside by the penalty spot, drills it low, but by that point there's 3 Palace defenders on the floor on the 6-yard box. It's one of them and goes out for a corner. Alonso takes the corner, left foot in swinger from the right hand side. He does towards the back post. Werner chests it down but he can't control it and they get the ball away. He's been brilliant, Timo Werner. Up to halfway, Thiago Silva does well against Zaha. Just heads it down to Conte. Out to this left-hand side. Werner back heels it to Rudiger. Ziyech says, give it to me. Into Rudiger. Driving forward. Rudiger's shot's blocked. Goes out for another corner. Rudiger's like saying to Hakim Ziyech, sorry, mate, but I wanted that. Is it a Chelsea corner? Yeah, it's Chelsea corner. Timo Werner, great back heel to Rudiger. And Hakim Ziyech plays it inside to him. And Rudiger, by the corner 6-yard box. To be fair, Mark Guehi makes a great challenge. Rudiger's thinking goal. Guehi diving in. Great challenge from him. Chelsea corner from the left-hand side this time. Hakim Ziyech to take it. Rudiger, Loftus-Cheek and Lukaku penalty spot. They get the ball away. As far as Conte. Collects it. Gives it to Timo Werner. 30 yards from goal. Good ball up the line to Ziyech. Cross comes in across the 6-yard box. No one else is there. Conte has made a difference in midfield. Honestly, Lukaku could have had a hat-trick. If he just got the right position, he could have had a hat-trick already. Great ball from Ziyech. He's literally put it on a plate. Across just that space. It's probably about 4 yards out. Across the goal. The goalkeeper can't come out and grab it. Lukaku's not gambling. He's waiting for it to come to him. Anyway, they give the ball away again. Conte wins it high inside their half and just nice and easy back to Reece James. We've got 3 minutes of injury time. We've got 40 seconds left. We're in the final. Palace fans are going home. Good performance from Chelsea's second half. Rudiger finds Loftus-Cheek, finds Alonso. Ball up the line. Looking for the run of Lukaku. He's pinned Guehi. Inside the penalty box, Lukaku. Holds it up to Timo Werner. Oh, dearie me. The ball bounces as Werner strikes it and it goes about 40 yards over the bar. And Werner's laughing. He can't believe it. Dearie me. Lukaku applauds the move. Butler's going to take the goal kick. And with this, the referee should be blowing a whistle. And is he going to do it? And he does now and it's all over. Chelsea are in another FA Cup final. Come on. Chelsea 2. Crystal Palace 0. Goals from, who scored? Ruben Loftus-Cheek with the first goal. Mason Mount with the second. A much better second half from Chelsea. Take us through. Crystal Palace were great in the first half, I have to say. They were much better than Chelsea. Edouard Mendy was forced into a save. They hit the post. Chelsea hadn't woken up from their hangover from midweek. Second half, much, much better from Chelsea and deserve it. Chelsea deserve it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, smash the like button for me. I will not be here on Wednesday, unfortunately, for the Arsenal game. There won't be commentary for Wednesday for the Arsenal game. My wife has a night where she goes and does stuff, and it's a Wednesday. To give her a break from obviously the baby and stuff like that. So I have to honour that. So there's no match commentary on Wednesday against the Arsenal. So, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed it. Chelsea are through to another FA Cup final. Chelsea against the Bin Dippers. The Bin Dippers, we owe you, and we're coming for you in the FA Cup final because we're going to beat you FA Cup final as well. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much. I'm off to go and put my little boy to bed. Have a good evening. Chelsea in the FA Cup final. Come on. See you guys next time. Thanks for your support. Drop a like. See you soon.